Welcome, everyone, and good morning to the webinar of Thinkcloudly. Today, the topic of the webinar is IT Auditing and GRC, your shortcut to a high paying IT career. The term IT auditing or IT governance, risk, and compliances are critical components in managing information technology within organizations. It helps in risk management, compliances, data integrity, operational efficiency, fraud prevention. And to shed more light on the given topic, we have Mr. Naman Jain within us. So please welcome Mr. Naman.
Hey, hi everyone. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. I
Good
hope
morning.
everyone can hear me. Can you please confirm in the chat box? Okay. I don't know. Yeah, okay. So I got some responses now. Hi guys. So thank you so much for coming this morning and attending this session today with us. I can promise you one thing that you guys are going to get a very good good takeaways from this session. So thank you so much everyone for joining. Thank you, Zoe. Now, first question I would like to ask you, I want to basically tell you three things, okay? And first thing, if I tell you that one email could cost 40 million USD to an organization, or let's say to a bank, okay? Do you know who protected this? Who actually helped this bank to basically save their $40 million? Can anyone guess? It's IT auditor. I'm telling you from the real perspective, from the real findings. So there was an email which was sent to a bank, and it was actually a wrong email, and an IT auditor actually tried to protect by setting up the policies, and it really helped the bank to save almost 40 million USD. Can you imagine? Okay. Second scenario. You know what? Every 500 Fortune company, okay? Do you know which Fortune 500 companies? Have you heard about Fortune 500 companies? Every Fortune 500 companies, they have an IT auditor, okay? They have an IT auditor on a speed dial. Can you guess why? Can anyone guess why that all these Fortune 500 companies have IT auditors on speed dial? Any guesses, anyone? Because this has happened in the past, that if an organization does not have IT auditor, company can crash overnight. Company can crash overnight. Is this insane or not? Can you imagine? I'm basically I'm bringing these facts, what happened in the past with the organizations. Okay. So you can imagine that Fortune 500 companies have IT auditor on speed dial, because if they don't have people, the company can crash overnight because of certain issues. Do you believe me or not? How many of you actually believe me that these are the right facts I'm presenting in front of you? Yes? Okay, great. The third one, which is important. So there was one breach which happened in 2017, and it is one of the popular one, which is Equifax breach. How many of you have heard about this breach which happened in 2017? How many of you have heard about this breach which happened in 2017? You know what happened? Can I tell you what happened? Because of this breach, 147 million customer records were exposed. Exposed. Can you imagine? And you know what? What was the reason? The company missed to update their software on time. So hacker found that one gap in the system, and the entire 147 million records, data records of the customer was exposed to the entire world. Okay. And why this happened? Because the IT auditor who was working in that organization did not catch it on time. So IT auditor did not found the software is not updated properly on time before the hacker found out. And what happened? All the records were exposed to the entire world. And can you guess what was the loss? Can you guess the amount of the loss which the organization has to bear? Anyone? Any guesses here? What is the loss amount that the company has to bear? Any guesses? It was 700 million USD. 700 million USD. I'm not kidding. These are some of the facts which I'm presenting right in front of you. I wanted to start this session, but I wanted to tell you something which have happened in the past and why IT auditors positions or GRC analyst positions actually started becoming important to every organization in the world. Sounds good, everyone, or sounds bad? Sounds interesting? Can I get some responses? What do you think? Sounds interesting, everyone? I'm telling you, this is happened. I mean, until we understand what happened in the past, we will never be able to realize the importance of something. And this is what happened in the past, and that's why I'm able to, share with all of you. Okay. Now, let me quickly share the draw.io. Let me ask you a question. What does this IT auditor is all about? Can anyone tell me in one word? What do you think what this IT auditor is all about? Let me see if how many of you can actually answer this. What is IT auditor is all about? Okay. I see people are not responding in the chat box. Please, guys, please participate. This is how we'll learn. What does an IT auditor actually do? Okay, let me ask you this question. What does this IT auditor does? Like what they do actually on a regular basis? Okay. See, IT auditor, they basically they try to first evaluate what is happening. If they check what is happening, okay, and they check the efficiency, they ensure the efficiency of the system as well. Remember, everyone, it is not just about evaluation. A lot of people think when we talk about IT auditor, they think it is only about evaluation, that whether things are going okay or not. But it is also important that we check the efficiency of the processes. Okay. Because if you don't check that, you are not the right IT auditor. So that's number one. Okay. What is the other thing IT auditor they do? Any guesses, anyone? Evaluation is one thing. What is the other thing an IT auditor actually do? Any guesses, anyone? Any guesses? Okay. They take care of security compliances. Okay. They take care of security compliances to make sure, okay, to make sure that, okay, guys, I'm seeing a lot of responses in the chat box. Risk assessment, detect fraud. I want, some of you are not right. Okay, let me tell you. So with this session, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Okay. So please be with me till the end of the session. I'm gonna clarify, because some of you are saying risk assessment, detecting fraud and everything. I'm telling you that I'm gonna cover everything in this session. So kindly be with me till the end, and I'm gonna clarify what IT auditor actually do, what GRC analysts actually do. Okay, you will actually get a very clear distinction between both of them. Got it, everyone? Can I continue? Can I continue, please? Okay, great. So the first thing an IT auditor does is evaluation, whether everything is going okay or not in the organization. That's number one. Okay. Number two, ensuring the efficiency, whether we are utilizing the resources properly or not. That is second thing. Third thing, checking the security compliances, whether the compliances are in place or not. Security compliances are in place or not. So they do this second. Now, third, they identify risk. Okay, let's say if your organization have some risk, IT auditor actually gets involved in identifying the risk. Okay, so on a regular basis, what you do, you try to perform some evaluation. With the help of that, you identify the risk. Okay, then fourth, can anyone guess what is the fourth? Okay, I have already spoken about evaluation, ensuring efficiency, compliances, risk. What is the fourth? What is the fourth responsibility they do? The fourth responsibility is data integrity. Okay. When I say data integrity, see, a lot of data is flowing in the system. A lot of data is actually getting into the organization. Okay. But who is going to check whether the data is accurate or not? Who is going to check whether data is complete or not? Right? Who is going to check whether data is consistent or not, whether you are receiving the data consistently or not? And who is going to check whether data is secure or not? This all comes into data integrity. As an IT auditor, it may happen that you will be also taking care of data integrity, and you'll be taking care of accuracy, completion, consistency, and security. I'm talking about data perspective. Make sense, everyone? Okay. Now, what next an IT auditor actually do? What next an IT auditor actually do? Any guesses? I'm trying my best to break it down so that you can remember it always. So they recommend, okay, they recommend improvements in processes and controls. Okay. So IT auditor, because they are actually in touch with multiple teams, they are in touch with multiple systems, they're in touch with multiple infrastructure team. So what they do, they learn over the period of time, and then they start recommending that this can be improved as per process. This can be improved as per control. Does that make sense? So IT auditors, they also get involved in recommending improvements in processes and controls. Make sense, everyone? Are you able to follow me till here? Right? Now, after that, the last thing where they are actually get involved. Now, this is something what I want everyone to answer here, and I think you all can. IT auditor is someone who is evaluating and ensuring the efficiency. They are taking care of regulatory compliances. They are identifying the risk. They are taking care of data integrity, and also they are recommending improvements. What is the last thing which is left here? The last thing is prepare the audit reports for your managers, for your boss. Whatever you have done, it's important that you start preparing the reports. Okay, you have to prepare the reports and communicate to your stakeholders, to your senior management. And that is the work an IT auditor does. Got it, everyone? Was I able to break it down uh, in a right way? Will you be able to remember this always? Can I get some yeses, no, maybe? See, I'm telling you one thing that after this, I'm telling you one thing, after this, if you read anything, you will find everything is going to revolve around this. So these are the 6 major roles and responsibilities or goals of every IT auditor in the industry. Okay, make sense? Can we take an example here? Can we go and take an example here from a real world again? I know that every one of you actually enjoy my real world examples. Okay, let's do that. So now let's look at, let's say that there is a bank in Canada. Okay, there's a new bank. Can anyone suggest a bank name? Can anyone suggest a very good bank name which does not exist? Kind of a fiction bank. Can you tell me a bank name? This is a new bank which is opening up. Okay, let's say ABC Bank. Okay, great. So let's say ABC Bank. This is an ABC Bank. Okay, a lot of responses are coming. Canada Finance Bank. Okay, so let's say there's a bank which is opening up. Now they have operations offline, which means they have stores, I mean, they have their offices across Toronto, Calgary, different places. They have different, different walk-in offices where people can go and withdraw their money. People can go and deposit their money. Okay. So there are like a lot of, you can say a lot of offices they have set up in uh, every location. They have set up a lot of offices. Now this bank decides that if, like, I have a lot of offices but I want to have something online, I want to go online. I don't want to rely on these physical locations where people are depositing money. I want something which is known as online banking system, because this is a relatively a very new bank and they don't have any online banking system. Okay, so now they want to build an online banking system. Do you think that online banking system is important for every bank today? Like sending the money to your friend with the help of mobile application and net banking and a lot of other things, right? So this bank didn't have any online banking system, but they want to have the online banking system. Okay. So what they did, they basically hired, multiple developers. Okay. They hired multiple developers. These are software developers, and they started building the online banking system. Okay, these software developers are building the online banking system. Now, a very funny question for all of you. Can we rely on these software developers for this banking system? These are human, right? Can we rely, these people are developing the online banking system. Can we rely on these people? Let me ask you this question to everyone. How many of you think that we can rely on these people? Can they not can they not have their access to the customer database? Can they not play with the customer money? Right? We cannot rely on that. Right? We cannot rely on that. Now, what happens? So basically for that, we hire one IT auditor. Okay. We hire one IT auditor. Okay. Now let's look at what this IT auditor is going to do. Now this IT auditor is going to change the game completely. Okay. Do you want to know what this IT auditor is going to do in this environment, in this system? Do you want to know what this IT auditor is going to do? Okay, let me tell you. This IT auditor, first of all, is going to review their SDLC process, software development lifecycle. How are they actually building it? So this IT auditor is going to check that out. Then it will basically, he will check the documentation, whether documentation is there or not properly. Sometimes a lot of people, what they do, a lot of developers, they create application, but they don't create documentation. And documentation is important. So IT auditor will check whether there is a proper documentation is in place or not. Okay. Then the IT auditor is going to check whether testing is done properly or not. Sometimes software developers are creating the application, they're creating the online banking system, but the testing is not done. And testing is very crucial for any software in the world, right? So IT auditor is going to check whether testing is done or not. After that, what an IT auditor is going to do? IT auditor is going to check user access controls. Who has what level of access? Am I right, everyone? Is that important or not? IT auditor will check that whether the entire world is not having the access of this online banking system or not. Who should be having the access of what in the system? That is user access control. Does that make sense, everyone? Are you able to follow me till here? I want everyone, please tell me if you're able to follow me, because you're not responding in the chat box. I'm just wondering whether you're able to follow me or not, right? Please tell me if you're finding this conversation interesting or not, because I get little motivation, you know. I'm gonna try to add some spices here. Okay. Now, so what do you think? Are we done? Are we done with the IT auditor? These are the responsibilities we expect from an IT auditor. Okay, let me tell you one important thing. One important responsibility of an IT auditor in this case. Did we even check whether data is getting encrypted or not? The most important one, isn't it? The data is flowing in this banking system. Someone is sending the money, someone is sending the money out, and that is not encrypted. Isn't it a big threat to the system? So data encryption is also checked by the IT auditor. Imagine, right? Okay. Now, now, now these many, okay, let me ask you one question. Uh, did it happen with anyone here that you transferred the money, but it did not reach to your recipient? So let's say when you are trying to send a money using Zelle, Cash App, or Interact, sometimes it takes some time or sometimes it does not reach. Did it happen with anyone or not in the past? Do we have anyone that when you are trying to send the money and it is taking some long time, or it is not reaching to the recipient? Did it happen with anyone or not? You know what is happening here? Basically, IT auditors are responsible to ask these software developers that, hey guys, please set up the trails. Audit trails. What is this audit trails all about? Audit trails basically keep all the logs, what customer is doing. So whenever your money is not getting transferred, the backend team, they check audit trails. They check audit activities of that particular customer, whether the money was sent in real or not. All the activities of a user, of a customer, is always kept in audit trails. And who is going to who guide these software developers to set up these audit trails? That is IT auditor. You understood what I'm trying to say, everyone? Are you understanding the audit trail, what audit trail is all about? Audit trail option is set up by these bunch of people, but who will direct them? Who will tell them that this is an important piece? Or who will check whether this is done or not? That is your IT auditor. Can you imagine how important this is? Right? Okay. And then the last step, what they actually do in this case is create the reports. They have to finally create the reports, whether audit trail is set up or not, whether data is encrypted or not, whether user access control is set up or not. Everything is mentioned in this document, which is presented to the stakeholder of this ABC bank, so that they can ask these developers to do that work. So you can imagine the importance of an IT auditor in today's world. Make sense, everyone? Are you able to understand till here? Now, what we have achieved by having an IT auditor, what we have achieved so far. Can anyone guess what exactly we have achieved so far? What are the outputs we have taken from here? Just because of the presence of this IT auditor, just because of this presence of IT auditor, now your online banking system is secure, compliant, and reliable. Until and unless we had this IT auditor in place, your online banking system, there's no guarantee about security. It was not compliant at all, and it was not reliable at all. Got it, everyone? I hope you enjoyed this kind of a short movie I tried to present to all of you. Yeah, I'm just trying to tell you what happens in real because it's quite difficult for all of you to, visualize it from outside, right? So I'm just trying my best that how you can visualize it, get into it, and understand it. Great. Okay. Now you know what happens. Lot of times, we talk about IT auditing. Let me ask you a very simple question to all of you. Uh, do you think that when you heard IT audit very first time, was it clear to you? So when someone introduced IT audit to all of you, let's say if I say software developer, you know they are going to build a software. If I say cybersecurity, you will know that okay, someone is going to secure the system. Did it happen with anyone that when you heard IT audit very first time and it was difficult to digest or difficult to understand? Did it happen with anyone? Because it happened with me. When I heard IT auditor first time, I was a bit confused. What do they actually do? Why do we even have them? You know? Okay, there are people in the organization who do accounting. Okay, they are important for releasing my salary. That's good. There are people who are doing software building part. Their software engineers are important because all the IT apps they are handling. But very first time when I heard IT auditor, I was a bit confused, right? Do we have anyone else who was actually got confused when you heard about IT audit very first time? Anyone in the chat in the audience? Anyone? I'm gonna talk about a very important thing right now, which is gonna help you a lot. That's why I'm asking this question to all of you, right? Exactly, Akin Lulu. A little bit of confusion, right? Not exactly like it was clear, completely clear, correct? But you know what? What happened? Someone introduced IT auditing to me. I was very confused. What is this all about? I was asking myself a question that what this IT auditing is all about. I mean, this is so confusing, right? Then on the same day, I met another lady, and then she again said something IT audit controls. Oh my God. Now I got like completely blanked. First of all, I was not understanding IT auditing. And now someone again coined a new term calling IT audit controls. Now it was completely confusing to me. Did it happen with anyone in the past that IT auditing you're not understanding and someone tells you IT audit controls? What this control is all about? We say controls, but what this control is all about? Am I right, everyone? So anyone now let me ask you this question. What this IT audit control is? What this IT auditing control is? Any do you know or not, or you want me to tell you? Because it took me time to basically understand it. Data flow, no. What this IT auditing control is all about. Okay. People who want to know, please say tell me or just like Gideon did. Okay, let me tell you. I mean, whenever you will read anything online, right? Uh, they will basically say controls. And when the control word comes in front of us, we don't understand anything. I personally don't understand anything. That's why I thought in this session today, I'm gonna tell people what this control is all about. Okay. Okay. See, always remember an IT auditor. Okay. An IT auditor. See, no IT auditor in the world is a god. Okay. He doesn't know everything. You cannot expect that IT auditor knows everything. That is so wrong. Okay. That is so wrong. If someone says that IT auditor knows everything, every compliances, everything, that is so wrong. So what actually happens? IT auditor has to master, has to go through some of the, let me write it here. Just give me 1 second. IT auditors, they basically have to go through some of the policies. Okay. They have to go through some of the procedures. Okay. They have to go through some of the mechanisms. Okay. Mechanism. One moment. Okay. Mechanism. These three things actually make, these three things actually make the IT auditing controls. Okay. IT auditor has to master these three things to become an IT auditor. And what are these three things? These three things are nothing but your IT auditing control, which means there are some set of policies which every organization follows. That is your IT auditing controls. There are some procedures, what your organization is doing on a regular basis. That is your procedures. Okay. And mechanism is some of the functions which are already running within the organization. Those are mechanisms. Okay. Again, I know it's a little confusing, but I'll clarify this again. So security, the IT audit control is made up of three things: policies, procedures, and mechanisms. Okay. Are you able to follow me, everyone? What can you type in the chat box what IT audit control is all about? Policies, procedures, and mechanism. Can someone write in the chat box real quick? Policies, procedures, and mechanisms. I'm going to clarify this in detail. I know it's a little confusing till now. Policies, procedure, and mechanism. Okay. Now, what you do, you basically set up some of the password policies. Okay. You set up some of the password policies that if your employee is selecting the password, it should be 10-digit long, right? If your employee is selecting the password, it should not have its first name. Generally, that is what we do, right? If my name is Naman, I'll say Naman at 12345. That is what we generally use as password, right? So password policies is when, as an IT auditor, you implement this control that someone will follow the password policy so that no one can hack your system correctly. Okay. Getting my point till here? Are you able to understand till here before I proceed further? Guys, can you please tell me? Okay. Now procedures. Procedures is like, like firewalls. Okay. You have to set up, as an IT auditor, you have to make sure firewalls are enabled. Any hacker out there in the market, let's say someone in Russia is trying to hack your organization in US, he's trying to hack your organization. So you need to enable some in-house firewalls, and that can be part of your procedures. Okay, because you're enabling the firewalls. That is your procedure. Okay. Third example is mechanism. Mechanism is like RBAC. What does RBAC stands for? We sometimes call it RBAC, or sometimes we call this at R RBAR. What is this RBAC or RBAR? Any guesses, anyone? Role-based access control. That is your RBAC. Role-based access control. Okay. What does this RBAR is all about? Can anyone guess what does this RBAR is all about? Role-based access restrictions. Okay, remember that. This is very important. Okay, yes, you're right, Hardik. RBAC or RBAR, right? These are mechanism. You basically create or build these mechanism so that your organization can follow it. So what if you look at everything, policies, procedure, and mechanism, what is it? These are the actionable items for IT auditors, and that is control. See, actionable items or actionable responsibility of an IT auditor we can call it as IT auditing control. Make sense, everyone? Are you able to make sense till here before I proceed further to the next part? Any question, any guesses? So is it am I able to keep the session interesting till here? Because we are going to dive in a little bit now, right? I hope everyone is with me. I want little motivation that you guys are actually liking it. Thank you, Juliet. Kidding. Okay, now it's very important that we understand IT audit controls from the types of control we have. I think this is very bookish, but this is very important to know. You know how many types of IT audit controls are there? I think you guys might know this already. What do you think? How many types of IT audit controls are available in the market? Preventive. The first one is preventive. The second one is detective. And the final one is corrective. Can you imagine? These are the three controls. As an IT auditor, you have to follow controls. And if you're able to understand these three controls, you are someone who is trustworthy IT auditor for any organization in the market. Okay. So what preventive is all about? Preventive is about that you perform some actions. Okay. You perform some actions before attack happens. Okay, that is preventive. Okay, second, detective. What is this? You perform some action after you detect the attack which has happened already. So detective is after the attack. And what is the corrective? Corrective is the now attack has happened. How do I still correct everything? How the attack has happened already, okay? But how do I correct them that this does not happen in future? Does that make sense, everyone? Are you clear with this? Preventive, detective, and corrective. Are you all clear with this? Preventive, detective, and corrective? Great. Now let me give you some examples under this. Now, when we say preventive, okay, when we say preventive involves password policies. That as an IT auditor, you will make sure that policies are enabled before even the attack is happening. We are preparing ourselves. That the passwords are super strong. Okay. Access control. Access control means only authorized people have access to the system. That is your second control. Okay. Third, enabling firewall to make sure that no one can get into your system. Okay. And fourth is your RBAC, role-based access control. If your manager should have access to two things, he should have access to only two things. If he's manager, it doesn't mean that he should have access to the entire world, right? So the concerned person, if he's having the access of two things, he should have access to only two things. It doesn't mean if he's the owner or if he's the manager that he's allowed everywhere. Does that make sense, everyone? Uh, do you agree with me that password policies, access control, firewall, and RBAC, they all are part of preventive controls? Okay. Now, detective. Detective is about, like, how do you detect something happens? You detect with the help of audit logs. Okay. You detect it with the help of audit logs and reports. So you create a lot of reports. You create, you get a lot of reports, you access to a lot of reports, and we call this report. Can anyone guess what this report is known as? Any guesses, anyone? What this report is known as, from which you actually find out what attack has happened, or what this report is known as? This report is known as reconciliation report. Okay. So with the help of reconciliation report or audit report, you try to find out what actually happened after attack detection. Okay. And the last, which is the corrective is, now see, the attack has happened. Things have gone wrong. Let's say your house is flooded with a lot of water. So what you're going to do? Will you fix your house or not? Am I right, everyone? Will you fix your house or not? If your house is flooded, will you, after the flood is over, will you fix your house or not? We will fix it, correct? In case of attack, how do we fix it? We go and do data backup, data backup restoration. That whatever data is deleted or lost, let's try to restore that data. Okay. Or let's say software was not updated, so let's update the software so that they are more secure. That is your corrective approach. Okay. And all of this actually comes under what? IT auditing control. So do you think that this IT auditing control is still alien to you, or you understand it now? You are, everyone, all clear so far? I hope IT auditing and IT auditing control is not alien to you anymore. I'm trying my best. I'm actually trying my best that you understand this and you keep it with the all the part. Like always, you always remember this. Okay. Now, okay, so we are on top of the time right now. Do you want me to continue? Because I have one last section where I'm going to compare IT auditing and GRC. Do you want me to continue, or do you want me to, stop the session here? Because now the last section, what I have is the difference between the IT auditing and GRC. And that's something which I wanted to discuss with everyone, because a lot of people, they come with the same question. What this IT auditing is all about? What is this GRC is all about? Okay. So have you taken the screenshot here, everyone? Can you please confirm if you have taken the screenshot of all these things or taken the notes? Because I'm going to delete this now. Okay. Now, see, one thing we all have to remember. Okay, guys, please quickly take the screenshot or take the picture real. I cannot send this in the chat, unfortunately. It won't be possible to send it in the chat right now. But you can, yes, you will get the recording for sure. Okay. Okay, so now let's move on to the last part of this session. Now, have you ever wondered, or how many of you have wondered, that what is the difference between IT auditing and GRC? I think this is the question what we all have, right? Okay, one moment, Venki, please. Can you see it, please? Okay. And this is the first, this is the online banking, and this is what we discussed as an IT auditor. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now, okay, before I proceed, I want to ask everyone, do you get this question in your mind, that what this IT auditor and what this GRC is all about? What is the difference between IT auditor and what is the difference between GRC? Let me ask you this question. How many of you actually know this, the difference? Anyone? Anyone who can answer this? Okay. Okay, good, David. Very close. Okay. First of all, I want to know like how many of you have this doubt that what is the difference between IT auditing and GRC? You can respond with me in the chat box. How many of you have this doubt that what is the difference between IT auditing and GRC? It sounds so relatively. Okay. Let me tell you one thing, everyone, that both the terms are related. Okay. Both the terms are related. Definitely, but there is a slight difference in both of them. Whenever we are getting ready for the job market, we have to make sure that we get ready for the job market for both IT auditor and GRC. Okay, so keep in mind that you should not prepare just for GRC, or you should not just prepare yourself as an IT auditor, because a recruiter who is hiring for IT auditing and the same recruiter who is hiring for GRC, they both, I mean, they basically they can hire anyone for the same role. Okay, so it's quite a relative role we have seen in the market so far. There are almost 300 recruiters who are in touch with us right now, and all of them, or most of them, have basically, when they say GRC analyst, they pick IT auditor profile as well. So it is interchangeably, and you have to prepare for both. That's number one. So now, what is IT auditing? So let me write something in a proper English. Forget about all the words. Okay. When someone says IT auditing, it means that are we doing things right? Okay. Are we doing things right? That is the role of an IT auditor. They check whether the company or the organization, they are doing all the processes right or not. Okay. But then what GRC is all about? GRC is, are we doing right things, and we are doing them, or are we doing them responsibly? How many of you are able to understand the difference now? See, IT auditing always is limited to, are we doing things right or not? Whether my organization is doing things right or not. If they are not doing it, I will tell them that do things right. That is IT auditor. But on the other side, GRC, they basic GRC analysts, they check, are we doing right things or not? Right things means whether we are following all the compliances or not, whether basically we are doing this responsibly or not. Okay, I will clarify this in more in detail. I know it's still a bit confusing, but you will get the clarity now. So as an IT auditor, you basically get involved in evaluation, as we discussed. Okay, and you verify the controls. Okay, you verify the control. That is what you do as an IT auditor. But as an GRC analyst, you do you basically you involve yourself into organization strategy, that how this is going to happen. You plan, you involve yourself into planning. Okay, and you set the regulatory compliances. You set the regulatory compliances. Okay, what does it mean? See, over here you are just, you can imagine it's kind of a police role where they are checking whether everyone is following it right or not. But GRC is like a lawyer, or is like a, like who is writing the constitution. That I am a GRC analyst, so I have to think about my organization. I have to plan the strategy, whether I should pick HIPAA as my compliance, or I should pick GDPR as my compliance. So I am planning, I'm strategizing, and I'm considering all the regulatory compliances. Getting the difference, everyone? Are you able to get the difference now? IT auditor is like police. They check whether everything is happening or not. But who is setting up that? Who is setting up that? GRC people are setting that with the help of, they involve in organization strategy, planning, and regulatory compliances. It makes sense to everyone. It makes sense to everyone. So this IT auditing is just a very narrow. They follow. They basically focus on assessments. Okay, they focus on assessments. Okay, and evaluation again. They keep checking whether everything is okay or not. Okay, but whereas GRC is broad because they are the people who decide. Decision is not taken by an IT auditor. Who is responsible to take the decision? Can anyone tell me who is responsible to take the decision? GRC analyst or IT auditor? GRC analyst is responsible to take the organization level decision based on the strategy created. Okay, so that's why it's a broad role where you strategize again. Okay, you plan, you execute, and then you monitor whether IT auditors are working in a right fashion or not. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, so basically over here, the the review, assessments, and audits are done by IT auditor. What GRC person activity is actually is about setting policies. Okay, performing risk assessments. Risk assessments is done by GRC analyst. So someone was telling us in the beginning that IT auditor does risk assessment as well. They can do risk assessment if an organization demands, but actually risk assessments is done by GRC analyst. Okay, and like creating the compliance programs. So compliance programs are created by GRC analyst. GRC analyst decides what compliances organization is going to follow. Okay. Now, what are the outputs? Okay. What are the outputs of both? Like IT auditor also works. Okay. IT auditor also works and GRC analyst also work. But what actually you get from them? You get audit reports. Okay, you get audit reports from IT auditor. You get ratings, risk ratings or ratings you get from IT auditors. You get recommendations, as we discussed, right? That IT auditors are involved in recommending the improvements. We spoke about it, right? Over here, you remember? Recommend improvements in process and controls. So IT auditors are involved in that. So recommendation, these are the outputs we expect from an IT auditor. Okay. Can anyone guess what is the output of GRC analyst? Can anyone guess what is the output of GRC analyst? Anyone? Let me check if you can guess it right. I hope you guys are not sleeping till here. Okay, you're typing. Okay. So you can expect frameworks. Okay, a lot of frameworks you hear about, right? That comes under GRC. You expect risk register, right? You create a lot of risk registers. You basically create compliance programs, as I told you. Okay, and you basically create policies. You have to set the policies. So this is what you expect from GRC. Okay. Now, how many of you are very clear with the very differentiate? I mean, I could able to differentiate or not between IT audit and GRC. Are you guys clear now? Very clear now, right? Okay, I'm having almost 200 people here. I want everyone to use the chat box and tell me I mean, I tried my best to break it down. I know that you guys are aware of all these things probably, but my goal is to make sure that you have the clarity when you're getting into the system, you know. Most of you are coming from a non-IT space. You need to know about this role and everything. Okay. Okay. So enjoyed till here, everyone, because I'm done with the session today. I hope everyone actually could able to participate, could able to learn something new with clarity. Okay. So thank you everyone for having me here till here. I mean, uh, you will be receiving the calls from my end. Like I'm gonna be calling every one of you. I do call people a lot. You know that. Thank you everyone. I hope you guys could able to learn something, which is very important out of this sessions. Okay. These are some of the rules, why you should explore IT auditing role. There's no coding required. It's a very beginner friendly. Okay. It's basically you can earn $120,000 to $195,000 easy money. Trust me, easy money. People are finding the job. I can give you hundreds of testimonials where people have found the job with Thinkcloudly. Help companies protect cyber attacks, data breaches. Clear path, IT auditor, risk analyst, GRC manager. That is what I wanted to also talk to all of you. If you are trying to get into GRC role or IT auditor, you know what where the real money is. Where is the real money? The real money is as a GRC manager. So you cannot become GRC manager like that. You have to basically follow that IT auditor or GRC analyst. One of my friend is working as GRC manager in Google. Can you guess how much he's making every year? Can anyone guess? I'm talking about a person who lives in California. $540,000, $500,000. Can you imagine? I'm not kidding. This is actually a real figure. Organizations are ready to pay you. Just do the magic for them and they will pay you. See, if we have to earn money, right, don't depend on lotteries. Your real lottery is that you basically get ready for this particular role and get that role. Make this money. You don't have to work two jobs. Just do one job, but just be smart enough. But this GRC manager role, you cannot become GRC manager tomorrow. That is the bitter truth about it. You cannot become GRC manager tomorrow. You have to follow a route of GRC analyst, IT auditor, and be that manager. And now, let me also excite you with something. What comes after GRC manager? Any guesses, anyone? What comes after GRC manager? What role actually comes after GRC manager? Any guesses? There's a role called CRO, Chief Risk Officer. Okay. And in any organization, which is a stable organization, the starting salary of Chief Risk Officer is almost $4 million to it can go up to like whatever you can imagine. So I'm just keeping it like open. $4 million is the starting salary. Why? Because they are very, very important. So in IT, we don't talk about 50, $60,000. In IT, we talk about above $100, everything about $100, $100,000. But we are not spending our money just for $100, $100,000. We are spending our money, time, because in next few years, I will reach a level of GRC manager. So how many of you are actually going to promise me now that you guys are going to become the GRC manager in next few years? How many of you are going to promise me that, Naman, I am promising you that I'm going to be a GRC manager and I'm going to call you on one day and tell you that I make that $540,000 easy money. That only for those 9 hours a day, what you work, you know. You have to promise me, you have to promise me, and you always come back. So all these things is real possible, it's just like whether you are taking the right decisions or not. Over to you, Zoe.
You, Naman, once again. We have a referral policy here at Think Loudly. So, if you refer us to your family and friend members successfully and they enroll in our programs, you get $100 as cashback. So, please do refer us to your family and friend members, and you can also gain from it. So, it's good for you as well.
You know what, guys? Let me tell you one interesting fact about Thinkcloudly. Thinkcloudly has never taken any money from any investor. It is just because of the support of our students. They always refer us to their friends. Though they make $100, but Thinkcloudly is also able to grow. It's just because of all of you. I request every one of you to connect with us and let's be part of this journey. And please help Thinkcloudly as a platform to grow for the journey what we have created for many students in the past.
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.